Hi YouTube, I haven't made a video in a while. Oh my gosh, okay, first off, I woke up this morning and I was supposed to be taking a shower at a certain time and I ended up falling asleep, or no, I ended up oversleeping and so I literally slept with my like makeup from last night, so that's why I look shimmery, and I'm wearing Fenty Beauty, so you know, I'm a beauty guru now. Okay, not really, but I'm making this really quick video to word vomit about a lot of stuff. So, update, let's see, I hate men. No, I don't hate men, but I've been dating off and on this summer and it's just been stupid, and I think I've just really gotten over dating. Like, I don't really feel I want to be single forever now. And I started talking to my kind of ex-fling again, not like in a talking, like, oh, I'm like trying to get back with him way, but just like to, I guess, kind of like reconcile some stuff. And I'm thinking about like how stupid I was for just being with him. Like, you know, he wanted to like get back together, i.e. he wanted to just like have sex again, and I was like, no. Like, and I'm not attracted to him like that anymore, because I think I've realized what kind of person he's gonna be, and I've also just kind of like, I just got over it. And you know, he's trying to like be all nice or whatever. Like, he took me out for my birthday and like was trying to be like, I'm so sorry for how I treated you, blah blah blah, and like all of it is just nonsense to me. Like, I feel like it's a nice gesture, I guess. Like, it was kind of him taking me out for my birthday, but and I empathize with him, and a lot of like, you know, he told me like it's because he doesn't like himself, that's why he treated me the way he treated me. But either way, I mean, he said some really like hurtful things that it took me like over the better half of this year to get over, and I just realized like I don't want that aura in my life. I am glad that I'm able to go back and like kind of acclimate myself to my running group again, because I don't feel this like burden anymore with him. But at the same time, I just kind of am thinking about like he said some stupid racist stuff the other night, as usual. Like, he was just like, oh, black people like are cooking our food, like they're playing around in the back, like if like they are lazy, they don't take things seriously. And I was like, okay, I'm over this. It's like he always has to say something or do something to like just discredit something that I'm a part of, my community, my heritage, whatever, and it's just something that I don't like about him. So I don't even really see him as a friend. I blocked him on my phone, and he doesn't know that, but he might figure it out, but whatever. And then I just got to this like I have a bunch of people like trying to talk to me, not a bunch, but like a couple, and I think I've just kind of gotten to the point where I don't feel like that need to want to like couple anymore. Like, I feel this need to be more of my own person. And I saw this article online, or I saw this video online talking about like Lilith, the wife of Adam before Eve, and how basically Lilith is like not counted as like a good woman because she was like, she wasn't even made from Adam. She was made from dust like Adam was, right, biblically. And she was talking about how, like, you know, she's like, why must I lie beneath you when we're having sex, like, if we're equal? Or like, I want to have sex, like, you know, I'm a sexual woman. And basically she left the Garden of Eden because she didn't like her treatment, and then she started having kids with demons, and then God kind of like smited her and was like, I'm going to kill all of your children or whatever. And it was really effed up, but like, she represents the woman you're not supposed to be. But like, if you read more about her ideology and what she stood for, she was a feminist, which completely, like, I love it. At the same time, I get why people don't like feminism though, because like the whole notion of it is very like anti-Eve. Like, it's very like, you're not being submissive, you're not being a good woman, you're not being whatever. And I just started thinking about Lilith in terms of like who I am, because I mean, I've had people tell me that I talk too much about sex, or that I am too outspoken, or that I'm a little weird because, or I have like a unique personality because of the things that I like to talk about, or the things that I like to discuss. And all in all, I feel like I would be more like Lilith, and I feel like that's kind of the reason why I struggle with men, because men don't want a Lilith, especially in the area that I live. You know, there's this idea of like this good Christian girl and blah blah blah, and like, I'm just not that. And I find Lilith's archetype to be very intriguing. Like, the idea of, like, just being, like, what made her demonic was, like, not... what made her a wanton woman was the fact that she was able to express herself sexually, the fact that she was able to say no to certain things, the fact that she was able to, like, go for stuff. And I started to think about these rules that, like, my mom and, like, my counselor and all these people told me about, like, waiting for sex. And I have been with the last people that I had just, like never did anything. And now I'm starting to realize, you know what, if I'm with a guy, or if I'm with a girl, or if I'm with whoever, and they tell me they want something, and we go, you know, go out and we have a nice time, and we end up sleeping together, and then they ghost me, or they start acting really stupid, there's something wrong with them. Like, there's nothing wrong with me. Like, we were on the same page. If they start doing that, then that's on them. And, like, I'm not going to sit there and wait a certain amount of time to be physical anymore. I'm just not. Like, I feel like I'm at this point in my life where I don't really care about, like, wanting to appease people, especially men. And I also got into this topic of androphobia, where it was like, we talked, like, I had a classmate talk about, like, oh, like we're doing the research project with a bunch of 5th grade children, and she was like, maybe we should assign, like, people with, like, interviews and the research to be assigned to, like, a person with the same gender, because we don't want women getting afraid of, like I've seen younger girls be afraid of, like, their male student teachers or whatever. And I thought that incredibly fascinating, because I was like, wow, if that's not me. Like, I used to be afraid of male student teachers when I grew up, like, when I was growing up, and that whole concept really fascinated me, because I was like, so what is that? Like, what is that when you're afraid of, like, a male student teacher? Are there any other little girls that feel the same way? Because I remember, like, I would, like, literally, like, shut down. Like, I knew girls that would also do the same thing. They would cry until a male figure left the room. So I googled it, and this term androphobia came up, which is the fear of men. And little boys can have it too, but it's more prevalent in younger women or adolescent women. And when I googled the reverse to see if there was, like, men that were afraid of women in the same way, all that came up were articles about misogyny and, like, the hatred of women, and how it's, like, a younger thing that's, like it's manifesting in earlier ages for young boys. And we got into this really interesting discussion about androphobia and if it's an irrational fear. And I get, you know, in cases of abuse, or I get in, like, cases of something where the child is overly anxious, that this could be prevalent. But this also, I read case studies online that weren't necessarily talking about abuse, or case studies of people that were overly anxious or had a generalized anxiety disorder. And that's what really intrigued me. And I feel like that's more proof as to why there's issues and why sexism is such a real thing. Like, I feel like this idea, this concept of this phobia is proof that this is not okay. So yeah, I don't know, all of the things together just made me realize I want to be a strong woman, and if I have to embody Lilith, who is demonic because she challenged God's status quo, then I'll embody Lilith. You know, I'm a very spiritual person, and I don't necessarily believe God is this patriarchal figure that wants women to be submissive and made of man. Like, I think he wanted us to have our own brains and our own minds. And what I think is fascinating is that there's so many women that are like Lilith more than they are like Eve. And this is before Eve came in and then committed the mortal sin. But there's also this strange antagonism with women, especially in the Bible and especially in the Torah, because Lilith is actually originated from the Torah. But there's this strange correlation of antagonism, right? Like, look at how Eve sabotages the world, and then look at how Lilith challenges everything, so she caused sin. It's like women are the bodies of sin. And I feel like that's just a power dynamic that was written to enforce men to be superior, to enforce men to stay superior. And I don't know, I've just been thinking about that manifesting in my real life when I've been dating guys, and how those dynamics just play out and how I end up falling for them. And I don't want to be that person anymore. And there's a bit of androphobia within myself that makes it so I feel like I must follow suit with what men say, because, you know, if you challenge men, it could lead to the end of your life. Like, gendered violence is so real, and I think now, knowing that there's a terminology for it, androphobia, and now knowing how much that's played into my life, you know, makes me think about why I didn't challenge my ex sooner. You know, it makes me think about why I didn't tell off dudes that when I was sleeping with them, instead of internalizing it and saying, oh, I'm going to make them wait, like, it's stupid. So, I don't know. That's where I'm at right now. I'll probably make another word vomit soon. Bye.